Alright guys, we have left the coast, which is hard to do in Panama because it sure seems like it is almost all coast. But it does have some cool stuff in the middle, and that is where we're headed now. A little place called Anton Valley, which is supposed to be a pretty cool community that we're gonna go check out. So first, gotta make a stop at the grocery store, do a little bit of driving, nothing fancy, but like always, if we see something interesting, we will show you. If not, we'll see you when we get to our next camp. We are about 30 minutes or so from our camp, and it hasn't been crazy exciting until the last couple of minutes. And man, did the terrain change. It got jungly, there's mountains, got a little bit of culture going on with the locals and the way they live. And this is starting to look like a place where there might be some cool wildlife. I'm getting excited. How about you, Curt?
Yeah, we're up in the mountains. The air's a little bit cooler, and it's pretty up here. Reminds me of some places in Costa Rica, the Ruta Flores, and some other really pretty spots along the way.
So it's a pretty narrow road. Actually, it's really narrow road. Curvy, wet because it's raining, but thankfully Curt is driving.
Thankfully.
Okay guys, it has been raining like crazy through here. As you can see, you have to be careful because you never know if the road's gonna be there or not. We got a curvy section for sure. And what it is, guys, is the little area we are headed to is a village that is in the bottom of an extinct giant volcano crater. And if we can get you a glimpse of it like we just saw, you'll see. You can see it plain as day that this is a giant crater that now has a town in the bottom of it.
It's like Lake Atitlan, but instead of a lake, it's a city.
Yeah, yeah. And this is a pretty steep road down, so I'm gonna let Curt concentrate, but we will keep the dash cam going.
What are you doing, Snow?
Well, I'm tightening up the bike chain, and then I need to get my seat adjusted right before we go right around this little town.
I need to air up the back tire on my bicyclette.
Ah.
So I gotta get my air fittings out of here.
So we're in this city, Antonon, and it's in the valley of a crater. So we're surrounded kind of by the crater rim and the mountains that encompasses. So in addition to being a cool little city in the crater that we can bike, which is nice, getting out and checking this town out, there's also hikes up to these various cerros or miradors or little peaks that stick up around there, and so they offer pretty good views of the crater. So that's something I want to do. And so even though we're on the bike, Snow's navigating, she's on the iOverlander, the Google Maps, trying to get it figured out. We want to try a couple other hostels while we're here and see what they look like.
Okay guys, we took a bike ride this morning and we spotted a hostel that might be a little bit better suited for us, mainly because it rains a lot here and it doesn't look so muddy, and we can get some solar. Right, Curty?
Yep.
And guess what? I gotta go show y'all what we discovered once we got moved in and settled in at the new hostel. This hostel has a grill and a pool, but it's raining.
That's supposed to be a pretty good hike vista up to that point right there.
Yeah, up there on that mountain, Curt thinks he might try to do that hike. We hear it's a good one. But first, food on the grill. Woohoo!
So I told you this little town in the valley of the volcano, in the crater of the volcano, Anton, has some beautiful vistas, miradors that you can walk to around the city. So basically on the crater rim of the old volcano. And so today I'm gonna walk up to Cerro Iguana. Now the deal is I have to walk through the town to get there. We could drive the van up. We heard it's a 4-wheel drive. But I'm gonna walk through the town and walk up to the trail and walk up to the top of the peak. And if you can see right above the building right there, the red roof, that's where I'm headed. So let's go check it out. So all these peaks you see in the background above the city is the crater rim. As I start to get closer to this thing, I'm starting to get nervous. I don't know if you can see the scale to that thing, but it's pretty straight up. So we're gonna see how this goes, but from here it looks pretty intimidating. Okay, we've just started up the trail. They're tough to get on film, but I keep seeing these big blue morpho butterflies. When they flap their wings and open up, they're beautiful. But they're not real, I guess, thick like the monarch butterflies were in Michoacan. But they're cool.
All right, we found a hostel that is literally just like 150 feet from the main street in this little town, Anton Valley, that is in the crater of an old extinct volcano. Curt is on a hike today, not up on that one, but he's walked up on the other side of town and he's going up on the ridge of the crater where he'll be able to look down in and see this town that we're hanging out in. But this hostel we found has a nice little parking spot right up front, and it's really got a super nice, beautiful pool area. There's a family here enjoying it right now, a volleyball net in the back. Really nice place. Buenos. Buenos dias. And there's several kitchens scattered around. This is the one we grilled the chicken in last night. You got a bathroom out here. Sitting areas. There's another kitchen over there. That family's got a kitchen right there. At night, these lights are all lit up. The waterfall goes. Just a nice little place. I may have to enjoy some pool time later if it stays sunny like this. I'm super excited that it's sunny. It's rainy season, and Curt was worried it was going to rain on him on this hike. Now, yesterday when it was raining almost all day, and we moved from one hostel to the other hostel wasn't bad. This one's just a little closer to town, and we can get solar, which is nice. The other place we were parked under a shade tree. But I was a little bit lazy. The rainy weather can do that, I guess. And I didn't get any editing done. So while Curt's on his hike today, he's out playing. I got to pay for being lazy yesterday. So I'm fixing to lock myself up in the van, try to get a video edited before he gets back from his hike. So, I don't know, that's a tall order, so I better get to it. See you guys in a little bit. I'm thinking you're gonna be seeing how much fun Curt is having right about now.
Okay. We've definitely reached a really steep part. My breathing rate has increased. My pace has slowed, as has my mental acuity. So, this is the tougher part of the hike, guys. I always struggle in these cases to show you guys how steep the elevation gain really is. What I'm climbing, I always do my best. But it's hard, but what I'll tell you, I'm showing you my face so you can see it. Super sweaty, hot. And it's not that hot out, to be honest with you. It's nice and cool. It's just a really steep climb, and but it's beautiful up through here. And I'm actually really excited. I got off my lazy butt and did this today, so hopefully we get it done before it rains. All right, I finally have got out of the canopy of the trees on the trail, and I see sunlight up here, and the trees seem to be thinning, which means two things. Number one, the sun's gonna be beating on my big old gourd. And number two, I think I'm getting closer to the top. I guess this is the official park and trailhead. It looks like it's kinda been abandoned. And for a while, there's a little trail up here. I've read that this is where they used to take money for the entrance to the park. There's nobody here now. So, you know what that means. It's free. Okay guys, it's really far off, so I need you to concentrate and maybe use a little bit of your imagination. But straight in front of me, there's a windmill farm. We drove through that on our way in, and we're headed kind of in the direction of Panama City. Now, I don't know what that city is. I can see it here. There's a lot of big high-rises, which is unusual for Central America. So my guess is that's Panama City right there and further on south, which we are headed to very soon because we have to make arrangements to ship our van. All right, guys. I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but I've been walking on this crater rim for a little bit, and I actually walk along the back side of it. But I'm about to get a peek over what I think is their like best view from right here. So we're headed up there. Excited we made it.
I've never been known for my cautious side. You should know that I'm well aware. I don't want anything left untried. Will you come with me, mon cher? So let us just do my love and not stop to think any of this over. So let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now. It's not that you're timid, no one could say. Choosing to walk with the gale. What shall we call us? Hobos per se. We'll find that out on the way. So let us just do my love and not stop to think any of this over. Let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now.
Oh, the feeling of accomplishment. That was a pretty rough hike, but man, is this a beautiful reward. I'm so excited to be up here. This is a unique point. I haven't been on anything like this before. And to look and be able to see the whole entire crater up here puts in a lot different perspective. Now the long trek back, if you can see, I gotta go down this hill, kind of on the razor's edge, up that hill, up back that hill, all the way before I can go all the way back down by that river, to that road, and over to the van. So It's a long walk, but the good news is most of it's downhill, and I am a downhiller, so we'll see you back at the van.
So we have decided to venture out for dinner at a restaurant. And it's rainy, so we decided to drive the van. So let's go see what we can find.
That and the fact that I just got back on a crazy hike, I'm exhausted and hungry.
Exhausted and hungry. All right, here we go. We have ventured down to a little local place called Okay. Okay. However it goes, we're gonna go see what it's like. All right, it is Saturday night in this little town. We're out early bird eating, but people are starting to let the wine flow in this little restaurant. But we ordered some mashed potatoes, trace meats. Curt, what'd you get?
Lasagna.
It's not here yet. All right, guys, so here in this Anton Valley area, we turned down a side road to look for some birds before we went back to our camping spot. And Curt had told me when he went on his hike this morning, there were some nice houses back here. And we didn't film them all because we were looking like crazy, but these are some of the nicest homes we've seen on our whole trek of Central America so far. All right, it may not always be a glamorous spot that we get the kitties out, but this spot looks pretty good. No dogs in sight, a little bit of grass, some nice smells. They are excited. All right, guys, it is moving day. We are leaving this little valley, Anton Valley. Vanna is not on the dash yet because we have had to make a pit stop. Curt said you must stop at the Panaderia and Dulceria, which is basically a bread and dessert store. Who knows what he's going to come out with, but I'm sure Vanna will be getting on the dash very soon because, guys, today we head to the city, Panama City, so that we can start the prep work for shipping our van to South America. Now, we're not shipping in the next few days. There's quite a bit of work that goes into shipping your van across the Darien Gap. But it's time to get started. But I think this is a good time to wind this episode down as soon as we see what Curt got from the dessert store. What'd you get?
Pasteleria. I got some little pastries.
All right.
Nana, are you gonna let me in, Pumpkin?
I told him we're headed to the city, Curt, to get ready for shipping to South America.
It's a nervous time, guys. Nervous time.
It is, guys. But with that, we will see you guys in a few days.
Cheers.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!